Hi, what's going on everyone, and welcome to a brand new video. And in this one, we're going to be actually using JavaScript to learn how is it that we can populate a drop-down list or option. And I will demo the application for you guys so that you can understand what I mean. So this is the application, a very simple application. And we're going to, if you take a look at this place, this particular drop-down list, and click on it, you see that we do not have the items that are supposed to be in this particular place at this particular point in time. And the reason for that is because for this place to be populated, you need to have selected a certain item from the left hand side of this application that we have in here. So you need to select a certain item from here in order to populate the right items to this particular side of the application. Okay, and I may not have the right word to use for this, but I'm just going to call it that we're going to just kind of populate a drop down list based on a pre-selected list. Okay, so here should be a pre-selected list. Let's say for instance we select USA right now, and by the way, the items here are just for the countries of the world, and I have basically just 4 countries right here. So if I select USA right now, you're going to notice that this site is going to be populated with the states that are in the United States. Okay, so as you can see, New York is in the United States, New Boston is in the United States, and Texas is in the United States. You see how that works? And if we go back and then select something like India, and you notice that this place has also changed. And all of these things are actually happening without refreshing the application. So you see we have Odisha in India, we have Gujarat in India, and we have Bihar in India. And you don't get angry for the way that I'm pronouncing them. I may not know the right ways to actually pronounce these words right here, or these states that we have right here. So bear with me as I pronounce them anyhow. All right, so that is just that. We also have Nigeria here. So this is Enugu, this is Lagos, and this is Kano. And we also have Ghana right here. So if you click on Ghana, it's going to populate. We have Volta, we have Ashanti, we have Oti as the states that are in Ghana. Okay, so that's just basically what we want to do. So whatever that we select on this place, for instance, we select country, you're going to see that it's not going to populate this because selecting a country right here is not actually part of the items that we need to select. But anytime you select an item that we want to be able to populate the next drop-down menu with its corresponding states, it's going to go ahead and then populate that drop-down menu for us. So we're going to do this in JavaScript, and I hope that you guys will understand that. So let's go to our desktop and create a new folder right now for the application that we want to build. So this is going to be, I just call that populate. That will be the name of the folder, populate. And I'm going to open that up with our Visual Studio Code, which is the editor we're going to be using in this video. So I'm going to open it right now, open folder, and we're going to go to our desktop, and we want to open up that folder that I just created called populate, and we have that actually selected. So we need to create some files inside of it right now. So the first one that I'm going to create right now is going to be the index. So you're going to be index.html right there, and after that we're going to create the JavaScript part of it, which in the main place right now, what we want to do, we want to first of all we want to put that particular thing right now. Let me open up what we have on the desktop, which was called populate. So I'm going to open populate right now. I want to create 2 more folders in here, and the first one is going to be the CSS, and after that we're going to have to create JS folder. So we're going to just say JS, and that's basically the 2 folders that we're going to need. So as you can see, they already automatically showed up right here. So let's create the style sheet for this inside of our CSS. So we're going to just call that style.css, and after that we need to get into our JS and then create our JavaScript file, which we're going to just call main.js. And that's just as far as our files and folders go. That's just basically what we have. And I want to populate my index.php with the HTML boilerplate. So I'm going to just set exclamation and then hit tab, and it's going to populate my page with this. And the first thing I just want to do right now is to just enter my title. I'm just going to say something like auto populate. I just make sure we type populate right. So auto populate is select option. So that's the title right there. And within the body, what I want to do within the body right now is I'm going to first of all create a container. So we're going to just say div, and I want to give that a class of container. So this is going to be container. and let's go ahead and close that down here. So we're going to close that div, and within this div, what I'm going to do right now is, first of all, I'm going to create a form. So this is going to be a form, and I'm going to set the action to an empty string right here, which means it's going to process this form within this particular page. And I want to set the method, and let's set the method to post right now, like that, and that is it. So we'll close out the form down here. So this is going to be form to close the form. So let's just tab this over. Let's tab that over. All right, so that is just that. After that, we need to create that of the select tag. So we're going to just say select, and I want to name the select right now. I give it an ID. So the ID is going to be called, let's just go ahead and call this country. That's the ID, because we're going to basically be grabbing onto this ID from our JavaScript. So we have that in place right now, and I want to close out that. And down here, let's go ahead and close out our select. So we have that closed, and we need to create the options for it. And what are we going to do to create the option right now? It's very simple. So let's throw in our option tag. So this is going to be option. Let's go ahead. The first one I want to create is just to say something like select country, and let's go ahead and close out the option, and that is that. So the second one is going to be to create out of the USA, and we could also add something like a value right here. So I'm going to just say value, and I'm going to set the first value to empty strings. I don't want that to hold any values. And for the second option, let's say that we're going to create that and then set the value to the first item that we have on the form, or on the previous thing that we presented, which was USA. So I'm going to just say USA right here and close out that, and I'm going to just type USA as the text that people are going to see. So this is option, get that closed, and I want to copy this and then duplicate it maybe 3 more times. This is 1, 2, 3, and I want to change the second one. The second one is going to be India, so we're going to just say India and then change the text right here to India. And after that, I want to change the next one, which is going to be Nigeria. So I'm going to just say Nigeria, and let's make sure it's in lowercase letters. And I want to change the term that people are going to see to Nigeria right here. And after that, we need to work on the other one, which is called, I think we have that to be Ghana. So let's make sure I type that correctly. This is Ghana, and I want to change the term in here to Ghana. And I think that should be it for the selects right there. And when it's already been closed down here, and after that we need to create another one right here, which basically, if I go to the form right now, I want to show you something. The one that we just finished creating right now is this one, this particular select, what is it called, select options right here. So we want to create this one, okay, for it right now, even though this is not the one that we're working on right now. So if you want to get to the one we're actually working on, we need to open that on a new tab as we move along anyway. But let me go back to the development environment, and I want you to understand that the second one that I want to work on right now is going to be here. So I'm going to create another select tag right here, because I'm going to give it an ID. Remember, the first one is for the countries. I want to create the one that is going to be meant for the state. So I'm going to give it an ID. Then I'm going to just basically call state, which is going to hold the state for us. And that is just that. So I want to close it down here, but before I do that, let me create an option for it. So this is the option, and I want to just say something like select state, just to help you select a state. And that is just going to be option. And finally, we need to close out the select tag right there. So that is just that, and let's save that. And I want to open that up. So if we go to our folder right here, so I'm going to open this up right now, and that is it. So we have this right here. And if you click on this place, we just have basically this, which even if you select any state right now, you see this is India, and it's not pre-selected this one for us. If you select Nigeria, it's not selecting anything for us, and USA is not selecting anything, and finally Ghana is still not selecting anything for us. Okay, so that's actually what we're going to do. This particular side of it is what we're going to do using JavaScript. That's what we're going to do when we get to our JavaScript. But before we do that, let's throw in some styles for this. Okay, I want to scroll up to maybe the top of this page, and I want to include my CSS right here, which I'm going to just say link, and I'm going to just say rel, and this is going to be style sheet. And I want to actually grab onto the location of the file right now, which I'm going to just say href, and I want to go to CSS, and after that I want to go to style, css, and let's go ahead and then close out this down here, and that is just that. So if we open up here and we begin to work on the css right now, so if we get in here right now, I want to first of all work on the body. So I'm going to just say body, and the first thing I want to change, or the only thing I just basically want to do right there, is just change the background to black, and let's just say black right there. And that is just that. So we'll move on to the next thing in there, which is going to be the container class. I'm going to just say container, and what I'm going to do to the container right now is going to be very simple. And the first one, I'm going to set the width. I'm going to set that to 50 pixels, a percent. And after that, I want to set the margin of that page to auto, so that it can carry the content to the center of the page. And after that, I want to set a margin top. So this is going to be margin dash tab, and what I want to put in there is going to be just 80 pixels. So that is it for that. And the last thing that I want to do is to work on the select. This is going to be form, and we're going to just say select tag right here. This is going to be select, and within the select right now, I want to throw in a few lines of code, which the first one is going to be for the padding, and I want to set the padding to 8 pixels. And after that, I want to set the width of the select, and what I want to set it to is going to be 35 pixels. So this is going to be 35%, not pixels. I keep using percent. And after that, I want to set the font size. So this is going to be font size, and I want to go ahead and set that to 1.5. Let that be EM. Set that to 1.5 EM. So that is that. So if we go to the development, the browser will refresh it. It looks just like the original. Okay, just like the original. I want to use this opportunity to go ahead and then close the original right now. So I'm going to close it now, and we now have basically the one that we're just actually working on right now. So that is just that. And if we go back to our development environment, I want to link this JS right now to the index page right here. Okay, so to link it, we can go down to the just before the closing tag for the body, and I want to include that particular script. So I'm going to just say script, and this is going to be src for the source. We'll go ahead and set that to the folder name is JS, and then the file name is going to be main.js, and that is just that. So we close it out right here, close the script, and with that line we are connected to the JS. So open the JS right now, and that's actually why we're going to be doing the main work that we actually set out to do for today. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so the first thing I want to do right now is to create a function that is actually going to be called when the selected state actually changes. Okay, so anytime the selected country actually changes. Okay, so once I select a new country, and the particular function I'm going to create down here is going to actually change. So I want to put a comment right here, and then just say something like this function. So we're going to just do this function changes when the selected country, or we could just call that value, changes. And you're going to notice, you're going to see why I said that that function is going to be called as we move along. So let's create that function right here. I'm going to just say function, and what I'm going to do is to name the function right here. So this is going to be populate, and we're going to just say populate state. That's what we're going to do right now. So this is going to be populate state, and once we were able to populate the state, for us to be able to actually populate the state, we need to capture the country itself. Okay, and I want to put the capturing of the country in a variable right here. So let me just put a comment right here and just say get the selected value in country. So I want to get the selected value in country first, and I want to put that in a variable. So I'm going to just say const, and I'm going to just basically just say select country. Okay, so that's what it's going to be. I'm going to just say select country, and I want to set that to a method in JavaScript, which is just called a document dot get element by id. Okay, get element by id. Remember that there's a place where we actually created an id right here, which we basically call the country right here. So we want to get this particular id. That's what we want to do right here. So I'm going to pass in my parentheses right here, and then in quotes, go ahead and paste in country right there. Okay, and to grab that from that form, we can just say dot value to actually grab what is actually been selected from the form. Okay, and to prove that this actually is what that we're going to basically get what we select from the form, I want to go ahead and then call this function down here. Okay, let me just basically call that function down here, and to call that function now, it's really very simple. So I'm going to just say document.get element by id, and I'm going to go ahead and then paste in. Sorry about that. So let's just first of all get the id for the country, which we called country right there. Okay, that will be the first thing to get. After that, I want to add an event. listener right there. So we're going to just add event listener, and the event listener that we want to add right now is going to be change events, because once we select that, we want to go ahead and change it. So it's going to be change event. We add a comma right here, and we want to go ahead and paste in the function name itself like that. And within this place, we can go and then go ahead and do something like console.log. And what would we basically want to log? We want to basically log this particular variable right here. I want to log it to the console. So I'm going to copy that, paste it in here, and then save. And if we go to our browser right now, all right, so within our browser right now, I want to go ahead and then open our console right here. So I'm going to just hit my F12 right now, and I want to go to my DevTools. And if you're using something like what is it called, Chrome browser, if you press your F12, I think it should directly take you to the menu. Okay, where you just have to just click on something like console. And I think I should change this browser to something like console, since so many people actually use what is it called, a Chrome browser nowadays. So I'm going to basically change my browser. Maybe in the next video I'm going to change it to Chrome. Okay, but this one is Edge right now. So you see that we are on our console right here, which this simply means that I've turned on my dev dependencies. So I want to select a state right here. So let's say I select USA. And if you take a look at this place, see that that place has been populated with USA. So if I select another one, you see that is India. So if I select Nigeria, you see that's Nigeria. So if I select Ghana, you see Ghana. So that's just basically how we can actually grab onto those, what is it called? Those values, okay, from that form. Okay, remember the values that we created before now on the HTML, these values that we have in here. Okay, those are the things that we are basically selecting right now. Okay, so that is just that. So if we go back to our work environment right here, I want to comment this out, and down here what we're going to do is to take this further. All right, so we're going to basically use the selected value right here to determine what we're going to actually add to the state. I'm talking about this particular place. So if we select something like USA, I want to use that USA that we have just selected right now to determine what to add to these places right now. Okay, so that will be the next thing that we want to do right now. And in doing that, is going to be very simple. Let me put a comment right here and say something like, let's say use the selected value of country to determine what's going to be in the state. All right, in the state, maybe something like state list or option, you can call that anything. All right, so to do that, the first thing I want to do is to actually create an empty array right here. So I'm going to create an array using this keyword called let, and this is basically how I want to, if you want to create a variable within a function like this, you can use the keyword let. Okay, so I'm going to just say let option. So this is going to be option to add. Okay, so this is going to be option to add, and I want to set that to equal to an empty array like this. Okay, so basically as we move along, as we select a country, this particular array is going to be populated with the state that we want to actually populate the next option with. Okay, so once we select something like India, we want to go ahead and populate that array with the things that should show right here. That's just what that means. And in creating that, which is going to show down there, we're going to put that in an if statement right here. And I'm going to just say if. So if select country, so we're going to just say if select country, or we should just say something like selected country. We should have changed this. So we should also, is there any other place we use this? I think no. Okay, right here, even though we commented that out, so that's going to be selected. So we copy this right now. If selected country right here is equal to, so we're going to just say if it is exactly equal to something like, let's say USA, which we're going to go ahead and then put in quotes right here. I'm going to just say USA. What do I want to do? Okay, we want to go ahead within this bracket right now. We want to create the list of the states that we want, and we want to put that inside of this particular variable. Okay, so we want to go ahead and then populate this particular variable down here. So I'm going to copy that variable in there and then paste it right here. And what I'm going to do is to go ahead and then set it to be equal to the following array. And let's put that in an array. So it's going to be square bracket. And the first one that I want to create for that of the USA right there is going to be, the first one is going to be New York. So I'm going to just say New York, and I'm going to introduce a comma right here. After that, we need to create the next one, which is going to be New Boston. So this is New Boston. And after that, we need to create the next one, which is Texas. So I'm going to just say Texas. like that, and that is just that on that line. So I want to go ahead and then terminate this line like this, and that is just that. So for me to create the next one, which is going to be for India, so if you take a look at this place, after USA we have India, and then we have Nigeria, and then Ghana. So we need to create those ones right now, and we're going to basically follow the same format. However, I'm going to use else if to do that down here. So I'm going to just say else if, and then within this else if right now, what I'm going to do is if this selected country right here is equal to, let's say this time around, sorry about that, we're going to have to add that down here. So if it is exactly equal to India this time around, so we're going to put in quotes and then say India. So if it is equal to India, what do we want to do? We want to go ahead and then populate this particular array. So I'm going to copy that line, put it down here, paste that, and I want to change the values that are here. So the first value for that of the India is Odisha. So we're going to just say Odisha. And the next one, we're going to change it from what it is right now to something like Gujarat. And don't be angry if I'm not getting the pronunciation of these states correctly. Okay, so just bear with me. And Bihar will be the last one. And that is just that. So to create the next one, I want to copy this else if part. Once I copy that right now, I want to paste that down here. And this time around, we are going to work on Nigeria. So I'm going to change this to Nigeria. So this is going to be Nigeria. And the first one, if we want to populate Nigeria, the first one is going to be Enugu. So this is going to be Enugu. And after Enugu, we want to change that to the next one is going to be, I think that's going to be Lagos. So this is Lagos, and after Lagos we need to bring in Kano. So this is Kano. Okay, and finally I think we have that of the Ghana. So I'm going to copy what I already copied, I paste what I already copied down here, and I'm going to change this to Ghana. So this is Ghana, and the first item that we have here for those in Ghana, that's going to be Volta. So I'm going to just change that to Volta. And after Volta, we need to change the next one to Ashanti. So this is going to be Ashanti. And after that, we need to change this to OT, like that. And basically, that's just how we can basically get the array, okay, the array of the states in place. So we have that in place right now. All right, so to add the new options to the state, we can do that up here. So to do that, let me just create a new variable right here by saying const, and I want to set that to state. And we're going to just go ahead and set that to document.getElement by ID. So this is going to be document.getElement by ID, and the ID name is actually called a state. So there was a time we created something of that nature. So we're going to get that right now and put it right there. And then after that, we need to basically clear something right here, but I'm going to leave this. Let's just scroll down and then do something else right now. We're going to come back to this place and add something right here. Let me just put a comment right here, something like clear. Let's call that clear the options in the select list. So we're going to do that down there. However, what we want to do right now is to make sure that we're able to actually add the new option to the state. Okay, the state that we have up here. Once we are able to select the state, after selecting the country, we want to go ahead and add it to the option up there. Okay, so to do that, let me just add a comment right here and just say something like add the new option to the state list. And to do that is going to be very simple. We're going to combine that of the option to add. So let me just say the first thing I'm going to do is just say option to add, and that's going to be dot for each. So I'm going to just say for each, and let me just do that right now. So this is going to be, and I'm going to just go ahead and enter option text, and I want to go ahead and then use arrow right here, create arrow function. And what we want to do within the arrow function, let me enter my curly brackets right here, and let's go ahead and terminate this line immediately. Then within this particular arrow function right now, the first thing that I want to create is a variable for the option itself. Remember that if you take a look at this place where we have this select right here, we only had the opening tag for the select and that of the closing right here. So we do not have this particular option right here. Remember that I'm not making use of it because it doesn't have an ID and it doesn't have any values right here. But I want to look for a way to be able to add something like option like this. I want to add option like this that will have something like a value set to equal to a particular, let's say something like USA. Okay, and then we can go ahead and then close it like that, this way. So this is going to be option. So this is basically what I want to create using JavaScript. Okay, I want to use JavaScript to create something of this nature, because since it's going to be dynamic, I don't have to have that in that place at this moment. So let's return to our JS right now, and within our JS, for us to actually create that, I want to create a variable that I'm going to just call const, and I'm going to just not const but option. This is going to be option, and I want to go ahead and then set that to be equal to, I'm going to just say document dot get element by ID, and what we want to get this particular time is going to be the option. So we're going to just say within this particular place, we just say something like option. Okay, so that's just what we want to do. You know what, I think there is a mistake right here. We're not supposed to just do document dot get element by ID right here, because if you take a look at this place, we do not have any IDs for it right here. What we have ID for is for the state, which is the select tag, but we don't have anything of that nature for the option. So I think I'm wrong by what I just typed in here. What I'm supposed to do here is to just say something like create element, something like that. I'm going to just say document dot something like create, and so I'm going to just say element. You understand? So this is create element, and the element that I want to create right now is going to be this one called option. And after that, after creating that, I want to basically get that particular option right now. Okay, and to get that, we're going to just say option. This is going to be option dot value, so that anytime someone selects something from that place, we go ahead and get the value that the person selected. So if you are in USA and you selected something like New York, we should be able to grab onto the New York. Okay, that's why we're adding this attribute right here called value to the option. All right, so that's just that. So we're going to go ahead and set that to be equal to this option text. So set that to option text. I'm going to copy that and paste it down here, and then go ahead and terminate that line. Just make sure I terminate that right. And after that, we need to, I'm going to copy this line again and then modify that for me to basically get the content itself. So this is going to be option dot text content. I want to convert that to text content. So this is going to be text content, and I want to set that to equal to this particular option text again. And after that, we need to align that with that of the state itself. That is, we want to append that option to the state itself, to the state list. Okay, so to append it, we're going to just say state, and it's going to be dot append. It's going to be append child. And what do we really want to append? We just basically want to append that of the option. So we're going to just say option right here. Remember, the option is found in this particular place, this particular variable called option. So we're going to append it that way, and then terminate that particular line right there. And that is just that. Okay, that is just that. So we're going to basically save this and then test it right now. So if we go back to our development, our browser rather, I want to refresh this page, and if I select a state, let's say USA, and then we'll click here, you see that it populates that place with New York, New Boston, and then that of the Texas. Okay, and again, if we select something like India, and then we go to this place, we see that it basically adds that to it, but it could not clear it up. So we need to look for a way to clear what we already had in this place, and then populate it with the newest thing that we just selected based on the option that we selected here, based on the country. Okay, so if I select something like Ghana, you're going to go ahead and add that onto that. So the array is going to just keep on populating without clearing. So to clear that off, so that it can always go back to the original thing that we actually want to see, we can do that down here. That's why I added this comment before now. And what I'm going to do is just say, since that has an ID of state, we're going to just basically just say state right here. And what we want to do is just say state.inner HTML, and you can just go ahead and set that to empty strings like this. Okay, so I think that that line alone is going to basically help us always clear what is already in that place before we select any other option. Okay, so if we refresh this page right now, and then let's select USA, you see that that populates. Okay, clears what is there before now, and then populates it with the newest thing, I mean the options, the right options. So if we select something like India, it populates that. You see that? So let's select Nigeria, it populates. You see that? So if we select Ghana, that also populates. So that is just that, guys. So I wanted to just do a quick video using JavaScript, and we have been really PHP heavy lately. and I wanted to just do quite a little thing with JavaScript today. And I believe that you guys quite understand this. And then if you like it, just give this video a thumbs up so that we can actually trigger the YouTube algorithm so that this video can actually go viral. And if you have not subscribed to the channel up to this point in time, I think that this is the right time for you to subscribe. We'll be bringing out great videos of this nature as we move along. So feel free to subscribe. And if you have any questions, just go to the comment sections and then add me up. Okay, drop your comments right there, and then I'll see you in the next one. Then for my social media handles, you are going to find them on the description so that you can follow me on my social media handle and turn on your notification. And I will see you in the next one, guys. Bye bye for now.